Axios reports roughly half of House Democrats and half of Senate Democrats skipped in solidarity with the Palestinians. Among them, the Vice President of the United States, California representative, member of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Representative Amy Bera, was one of the Democrats not at the speech. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thank you. There was going to be a lot of issues inside the Democratic Party, especially at the convention, over President Biden's support of Israel. The fact that Kamala Harris skipped today, is that enough for these protesters and enough for the far left wing to insulate her from those attacks and that anger?
Not at all. Both President Biden, Vice President Harris, myself, we're all strong supporters of Israel. I've got some issues with how Prime Minister Netanyahu is prosecuting this war, but I would not take my absence there or the Vice President's absence as supporting Hamas or the Palestinians. Hamas is a horrific organization. It's a terrorist organization, and I absolutely support Israel's right to defend itself and dismantle Hamas. And you know, the pictures of the protesters burning a flag, graffiti, there's no place for that in America. Peaceful protest is fine, but I didn't like what I saw by the protesters either.
Oh, look, I don't know how you can be an American and like that, because that's not in favor of the Palestinians or for peace. That's talking about violence and supporting genocide. But in a situation where there is a binary choice, either you go to the speech or you do not go to the speech, can't you understand how a lot of people who support Israel say that by not going to the speech and essentially taking the same position as the protesters, you're throwing your lot in with them, as did the vice president?
Well, look, the protesters were taking a position of support for Hamas. I can only speak for myself. I do not support Hamas. My decision not to attend the speeches, I actually do care about Israel. But I also, in talking to the families, American families that have hostages held in Israel or in Gaza, we need to get those hostages home. And the one thing they asked me was, can you get a message to Prime Minister Netanyahu? This was a way to make that statement. We've got a toughly negotiated ceasefire deal on the table. Well, we've got a toughly negotiated ceasefire deal on the table. We ought to take that ceasefire deal. We ought to get the hostages released. Look, the Israelis have every right to go out and kill Sinwar, to go out and dismantle Hamas. But I think there's a better way to go about doing that. We also have been negotiating with the Saudis to recognize Israel, but that's been a tough negotiation, and yeah, I think it gets harder by the day. So my desire would be find a ceasefire, make sure Israel's protected and safe, make sure we don't have a northern front that opens up, make sure we don't have the Houthis and others expand this war, and then try to find that path forward. Look, I don't know what the future of Gaza is going to be like. I don't know what a two-state solution looks like, but we've got to think about a different path forward to secure Israel, but also secure the region.
All right, fair enough. Congressman, thank you. We always appreciate you being here. It's good to see you, sir. Back now. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.